All right. Good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to this work session of the East Rockaway Board of Education. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first on the agenda is old business. Mr. G. Tomaso?
Yes, I'd like to address an issue that happened at the junior senior high school on January 27th. We were having a heating issue in some of the classrooms when we got back from our snow day. And we were able to determine that it was an issue with a hot water pipe that was not pumping heat into some of the classrooms. So the building administration had to adjust on the fly and get the students and the teachers in classrooms with heat. The company that came in was able to fix it early into the evening on Friday night, early Saturday morning. But I want to take a minute to thank the teachers for their professionalism. I know it was unpredictable circumstances that Mother Nature threw at us, but they remained professional and did their best to continue instruction. So I want to thank the teachers and also Mr. Van Wart and Mr. Daly for expediting that process. Obviously, we know it was a really cold week and a bad time for pipe to break, but we're glad to say that we're able to fix it, and we only have one isolated problem left in the building that we are working on at the moment. Oh, and I'd also like to thank the monitors too, because it was cold in the hallways too. So a big thank you to everyone for being a good team. So that's it for old business.
All right, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, are there any questions from any of the board from the minutes of the regular board meeting?
No question.
Okay. How about questions on the board agenda for next week's meeting?
No questions.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda, budget work session presentation number 1. Mr. Van Wart?
Thank you, everybody. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the budget development overview of our process. I know for many of the folks in the room, we've heard this before. I think it's important to start there so that any first-timers watching this video understand exactly what goes into the development of the school budget. We'll talk a little bit about the governor's executive budget proposal for state aid, which came out in the middle of January. We'll talk a little bit about our revenue sources for the upcoming school budget. And I will share some information about the tax levy cap forecast for the year. So when we develop a school budget, our primary objective is to ensure that the budget supports educationally sound, transparent, fiscally responsible expenses. Always strive to maintain our existing programs, and where we can, we provide for enhancements, do the best on behalf of our students. Provide for a healthy and safe learning environment, and align our expenditures with our strategic plan. So before I start talking about where we're going, I'd like to start with where we were and kind of highlight some of the achievements that we had for supporting the 2025-26 budget. A couple of things I just wanted to highlight for the board of ed and the community. We did complete our energy performance capital project, which upgraded our LEDs and our lighting throughout the entire district, so all 3 buildings, both interior, exterior, all lighting was updated to the latest LED technology, which allows us to get some efficiencies in terms of our electrical bill. We've added motion-activated lighting smart controls to most of our instructional spaces as well as offices. So it's kind of like if you ever walk down the freezer aisle in the supermarket, the lights start turning on as you walk past because they have motion sensors. They turn off when there's nobody around there. Get another energy efficiency measure that we have put in place. Done significant work with our vendor to weatherize our building envelopes, so our doors, new weather stripping, our soffits around our buildings, putting additional insulation in there, all to prevent heat that's being generated inside the building from being able to go outside of the building. A couple other things that we did with the energy performance contract. We also added some smart relief dampers. So when it's hot out, the dampers open up automatically in the roof, let out the hot air. When it's cold, they close, keep the heat in. Valve insulations and pipe insulations, just another efficiency measure to prevent heat from being lost from the pipes. At Ream Avenue, we added 2 brand new boilers and burners, which is a significant capital expenditure. With the energy performance contract, we were able to do that in a way that made it cost neutral to the taxpayer. And at Center Avenue, we were able to enhance our steam traps across the entire building. So Center Avenue is our only building that has steam heating, steam trap. Valves and receptacles are what keeps the heat inside of the actual steam units. A couple other things that we've done this year, district-wide, we updated our bus radio and our security radio system. So we actually put repeaters on the roof of the high school, which allows us to be able to talk cross-building between our security guards and also be able to talk directly with our buses as our buses and our bus drivers when they're on the road. We did test it out, and we can reach as far out as Westbury. One of our bus drivers has a BOCES route. He drops some of our students off at Barry Tech. We've been able to talk to him from East Rockaway all the way over there. Just a great safety measure for the district. At the high school, we did some significant cosmetic work in the hallways. We upgraded our lockers. We refurbished them to a nice black color, as you can see in the picture here. And we repainted all the corridors with some East Rockaway colors. So you can see phase 1 was the lockers. Phase 2 was the actual corridor being painted, and that's the final product right there across our entire building. For 26, 27, something that we're contemplating is to complete that project with the stairwells, which we weren't able to touch last year. The priority was the hallways and the funding for that. This year, we're going to see if we have funding to complete the rest of the work. Also, the junior senior high school, we upgraded some cabinetry and storage space and refrigerators and fax room. And then as we've talked previously about, we have the cupola restoration project that's ongoing right now. We actually just took delivery of the windows that are going to go into the renovated cupola. They're sitting in a container in the back of the high school, waiting for the weather to improve. At Center Avenue, we upgraded the all-purpose room projector screen. It's a pretty old projector in the screen that was in there. It was held up with a pulley system. Now we have an actual automated system that allows that screen to go up and down. And then at Rainbow Avenue, we're going to be doing a refresh project in the main office that's scheduled to be conducted and implemented over the February break. Just a couple other highlights from the 25-26 budget. We added the humanities director, which gives us the K through 12 alignment of our instruction for our humanities block. At the senior high school, we added a special education teacher, and a district-wide, we added an additional part-time occupational therapist to supplement the full-time occupational therapist we had in the previous year. So now we have 1.5 FTE OT services, which allows us to meet all of our mandates. This past year, we also added a full-time bus driver to our staff. What this gave us the ability to do was to take back some of the BOCES routes for our career and technical education students that were previously serviced through BOCES. There were a lot of challenges with those routes that we had in the past. And I'm happy to say that with now bringing it back in district, we feel that we've been able to stabilize some of those concerns that we had in the past from the community. We rolled out a summer boost program last year for our elementary school kids. And at the junior senior high school, Mr. Schaefer and the administration team worked really hard to upgrade the student broadcast studio. So just a quick synopsis of what the actual budget development cycle looks like. We started in November. This is when all the budget materials come out from my office to all of our budget builders. They get the instructions from me in terms of what I'm looking for in terms of submissions to come back. That happens through the end of December. That's the deadline for them to submit all their documentation for their budgets back to me. Then we have meetings one-on-one to go through some of the submissions. At this time, I'm also projecting out our salaries, our retirement system contributions, our district-wide expenditures that are not department-specific, insurance costs, contractual costs, BOCES services, et cetera. In January, it's usually around the time when we complete all those meetings with our department budget builders, and we start reviewing our staffing